Hello, today I'm going to share with you the reason why achieving your big goal seems so difficult and what you can do to fix it. Research has it that 92% of people who set goals fail to achieve them. And this shows that the issue of setting goals and not being able to achieve them is a very famous one in different industries and in different walks of life. And this goes to prove the fact that the problem of setting goals and not being able to achieve them is a very serious one that needs an urgent attention. And this is why today I am revealing to you the reasons why achieving your big goal seems so difficult and what you can do to fix it. The reason why achieving your big goal seems so difficult is not because of you not having the right tactics. It's not because of your not having the right strategy. It's not about not having the required skill. It's not something external. If you fix all of this, if you have the right skill, the right tactics, if you have everything it takes externally to the achievement of this goal, without this primary reason that I want to share with you, you will not still be able to achieve your big goal. So the reason why achieving your big goal seems so difficult is not something external. It's not about having or not having the required knowledge. It's not about not having the required strategy or not having the required tactics. All of these are important. But the primary reason why achieving your big goal seems so difficult is internal and it's inside you. The primary reason, the number one factor why achieving your big goal seems so difficult, or the number one factor that hinders you from achieving your big goal without stress or procrastination is your brain. Yes, your brain. I know today you may be surprised to hear this, that your brain is the one hindering you from achieving your big goal. Yes, and it's not your fault thinking this way. It's not your fault, So I used to think this way before until I discovered what I'm about to share with you. I used to think that why should my brain hinder me? Why should my brain work against me? I know that my brain is so powerful, but why should my brain hinder me from achieving my big goal? I thought my brain is meant to support me. Yes, I was thinking this way, but the reverse is the case. In fact, let me share with you the reasons why your brain hinders you, or let me share with you the ways in which your brain hinders you from achieving your big goal. In other words, why achieving your big goal seems so difficult. Number one, in terms of setting goals and achieving them, you have two brains, the conscious and the subconscious divide. And one of them decides what happens in your life. So I don't mean that you have two physical brain. No, but in terms of setting goals and achieving your goals, you have two brains, so to speak, the conscious divide and the conscious and the subconscious divide. The conscious brain or the conscious part of your brain is that part that allows you to set your goal, is the analytical part, is the logical part of your brain. Is this part, that is being triggered, when you're setting your goal, your big goal, this part of your brain is the part that is being triggered, the conscious part. And this part will allow you to set the goal. And when you're setting this goal, you feel so enthusiastic, you feel so on top of the world, you feel so motivated. And that accounts for why a lot of people, because of this motivation, because of this enthusiasm, they write 30 things that they will achieve in a day. But whether when you finish setting this goal, whether you're going to be achieving this goal or not, depends on the other part of the brain. It depends on the other part of the brain, the subconscious brain. And most of the time, your subconscious brain says no. And when your subconscious brain says no, there's nothing you can do. And according to neuroscience, this subconscious brain, this second part of your brain, that's the subconscious part of your brain, is what is responsible for almost 95 to 97% of your life experience. It's what controls your life experience, 95 to 97%. And it's so fast. And most of the times you are not aware of the occurrences in your subconscious mind. And this is the part, that dictates, that locks the secret to the achievement of your big goal. And most of the times it says no. It says no because it sees your goal as something, that is not relevant. It says no because it sees your goal as something that comes to take energy, from the energy bank that it has been storing, for the activities that it considers more important. And these are activities of keeping you safe and keeping you alive. So the second reason why your brain hinders you, or another reason why your brain hinders you from achieving your big goal, is because your brain is thinking that it evolved to keep you safe and alive. Your brain is thinking that it evolved to keep you safe and to keep you alive and not to make you thrive. Our brain, even though is so powerful, our brain evolved from about 7 million years ago, from the time of our ancestors. And our brain would want to live long. Our brain would want to, live long so as to continue evolving. Your brain wouldn't want to die young. And so your brain, for the primary function, is thinking that it evolved to keep you safe, safe from physical harm, safe from emotional harm and physical harm or mental harm. So your brain is thinking that it evolved to protect you from emotional danger, to protect you from physical danger or mental danger, but not to make you thrive. Okay, so your brain is thinking that its primary function it's not to help you achieve your big goal. It's not to help you become successful. It's not to make you thrive, but to keep you alive. So it focuses on survival. Okay, survival. So your brain would want you to live long. So how does your brain do this? Your brain does this by trying to automate things, trying to automate patterns, trying to make you work in a default pattern, in an autopilot way, so as to conserve energy. Your brain is a pattern dictator. It dictates pattern. It dictates the way you talk habitually, the way you feel habitually, the way you behave, repetitively. So it tries to automate this pattern. It tries to automate them so that you won't take energy to do them next time. So when it automates this becomes your normal. This becomes your comfort zone. And then your brain would want you to keep on walking in this area of comfort, in this area of default, so as not to spend energy. Okay, so as not to spend energy. So your brain prefers to conserve energy for the activities of digestion, nervous system, blinking your eyes, activities that surround keeping you alive, and not to make you thrive. So when you introduce that goal, your brain is seeing it as a threat. So that goal is your brain is seeing it that, hey, it's not my responsibility to make you achieve your goal. It's my responsibility to keep you alive and to protect you, from physical harm, to protect you from emotional harm. And that's why your brain goes to automate things for you. That's why your brain, goes to automate patterns, to make you work in an autopilot way, to make you work in default pattern, to make your life to be directed by habits, such that to make you to work in an automatic way, so that you don't take energy. You just get up, you do things, okay, in an automatic way, without thinking, without taking energy, because all of these things are energy consuming. Your brain makes sure that it makes you to avoid anything that will steal or that will take energy from the energy bank that it has been storing for the activities that it considers more important. So this is one of the ways that your brain hinders you, okay, from achieving your big goal. So another reason why achieving your big goal seems so difficult is because change is a big threat to your subconscious brains. Change is a big threat to your brain. And your goal introduces change. Your brain, like I said, would want you to walk in that comfort zone, in that normal, your normal, your habitual state of thinking, that your habitual state of feeling, your habitual state of acting, of behaving. Your brain will want you to continue in that manner, in that way, so as it wouldn't want you to, it wouldn't want you to take energy to do things, because see, energy is so important for your brain. It conserves energy for these activities that it considers more important. And these are activities that surround, keeping you safe and keeping you alive, activities of survival. Okay, so when you introduce that goal, your goal will make you to walk, even as much as that goal is big. If that goal is big, it means that goal will make you to walk outside this automated way that your brain has created for you. It means that this goal will make you to think differently. This goal will make you to do things differently. And this goal will make you to talk differently, to feel differently, to behave differently. And these things take new wiring. These things will take, new wiring of the neurons, neural connections, new neural connections, and new wiring of the neural connections in your brain. And this is energy consuming, and your brain sees this as a threat. Your brain sees this as a threat because this comes to, this will go to towards the already automation that your brain has created for you. This will go to towards the things that your brain has had coded for you so as to save energy. And so change for your brain is a very big threat. So anything that introduces these threats or anything that brings this change, your brain will fight. Your brain will fight to stop this change. And how will it fight? So your brain, when your brain dictates this thing, when you try to introduce your goal, and your goal will come towards this automation that your brain has created, and your goal will come to, towards this default pattern, this comfort zone. So your brain will fight. Your brain will lock up. Your brain will send, this cortisol, it will lock up your administrative circuit that will make you think. You will no longer, be able to think. You will be in an emergency mode. And that accounts for why all of a sudden, see, when you were setting your goal, you were feeling so motivated. You were feeling, you were having high mood, you were feeling so enthusiastic. But, when it comes to taking actions towards that goal, you find out that you're dabbling, you are procrastinating, you're not being in the mood, you're not feeling enthusiastic again. It's because your brain has seen your goal as something dangerous, has seen your goal as a threat, because your goal, this goal that is big, is coming towards the automation that it has created. It's coming to steal from the energy bank that it has conserved or that it has reserved for the activity that it considers more important. So your brain will fight this thing that you call goal. Your brain will say, hey, I'm not ready to support you in this thing that you call goal. My primary function is to keep you alive. If you are alive, that's okay for me. So your brain will fight to, make sure that you return back to that automation. You return back to that default pattern. You return back to that comfort zone that it has created for you, so that you continue to conserve energy for the activities that are considered more important. So this is one of the ways that your brain hinders you from achieving your big goal. This is one of the reasons why, achievement of your big goal becomes so difficult, because especially when you introduce this goal the wrong way, the achievement of your big goal becomes so difficult when you go after your goal as something external, something outside to be chased, something outside. And then when you go chasing your goal, when you go creating those intimidating long list of to-dos, the overwhelming long list of to-dos to be able to achieve this goal, you will end up provoking your subconscious mind, and he will lock up your administrative session and release cortisol that will make you not to be in the mood, that will make you procrastinate, and then you will default back to the old pattern, the old you, the old way of doing things. You keep on having that same roller coaster result over and over again. So that's that. So another reason why your brain keeps you stuck, another reason why your brain hinders you from achieving your big goal, is what I termed as, coherence and dissonance. So your brain loves coherence, and your big goal, introduces dissonance. So what is coherence? Coherence is a perceived state of safety, that perceived state of safety. So your brain would want you to stay in that perceived state of safety from mental harm, safety from emotional harm, safety. Your brain will want you to stay in that state of safety. Okay, in that state of protection from mental harm, protection from emotional harm, protection from physical dangers. So your brain would want you to stay there, and that is your coherent state, just like an orchestra. So when all the instrumentalists are playing in their right key, there is coherence. Okay, but then at the moment when one of the instrumentalists starts playing off key, the instrumentalist, he or she has ended up introducing dissonance, and that dissonance will continue, and there will be chaos, there will be unrest. That will continue until the instrumentalist comes back to the right key, and then then coherence will return. So your brain has created a perceived state of safety for you, and that is coherence. Your brain has created your normal, your habitual way of doing things. Your brain has created, automated, and hard-coded things for you, and he wants you to stay and walk in this way. So that's why your brain will want you to continue feeling the way you feel, continue having the same emotions the way you have them, continue reacting reacting the way you react, continue talking the way you talk. Your brain would want you to continue behaving the way you have the way you keep on behaving, because it has automated this for you. And as much as you keep on doing this same thing, as much as you keep on remaining in your comfort zone, you are in that state of safety. You are in that perceived state of safety. You are in that state of coherence, and your brain loves it. But remember, nobody grows in this state of safety. Nobody grows in this state of coherence. Nobody grows in this state of comfort, but your brain would want you to stay there, because for your brain, this is where you're meant to be, so as to become alive and so as to survive. So when you introduce that big goal that will go towards this perceived state of safety, when you introduce this big goal that will go to, break, that will go to interrupt this coherence that your brain has created, you are introducing dissonance. And when you introduce this dissonance, when you introduce this dissonance will bring chaos. It will bring a state of unrest. Okay, that's how you all of a sudden, after creating your big goal or after setting your New Year resolutions, you take one action, second action, third action, and all of a sudden you start feeling unrest. You start feeling unrest because your goal introduced dissonance to the coherence that your brain created, and it brought about chaos and a state of unrest. And this state of unrest, your brain will not like it, and your brain will not allow it to continue because it's energy consuming. So what will your brain do? Your brain will squash this state of unrest. Your brain will now, lock up everywhere and release only the emergency state. Release only the emergency circuit, and you start feeling so disturbed. You start feeling so stressed. You start feeling so unrest. And this will not continue. So what your brain will do, it will default. It will squash this state of unrest. It will cut it off and make you default back to your comfort zone. And that accounts for why you start giving excuses. Why? 1,001 reasons why these things will not work. Why you will not take action. Why you will postpone your action tomorrow. Why you will postpone starting up that business to the next year. You keep on giving excuses because your brain has squashed that thing that you introduced, okay, and has made you to default back, and you start giving excuses. So your way of giving excuses why that thing will not happen is your brain tricking you, to remain and to return back to that comfort zone, that state of coherence, that perceived state of safety that it has created for you. So when you introduce that goal, especially when you introduce the goal in a wrong way, you end up introducing dissonance, and your brain hates dissonance because dissonance thwarts that coherence, and that will bring a state of unrest, and that your brain hates. So this is one of the reasons your brain hinders you from achieving your big goal. So another reason why your brain hinders you from achieving your big goal, another reason why, achieving your big goal seems so difficult is because of what I termed as the thermostat functionality of your brain. The thermostat functionality of your brain. Your brain acts like the thermostat in your house. The thermostat is there, to keep the default temperature of the house, the default room temperature. So if the thermostat notices a change in temperature, maybe during winter you open up the window to allow some fresh air inside, okay, and then the thermostat notices that, hey, there is a change in temperature in the inputted or in the default room temperature. It makes the heater to start up, okay, so as to bring the temperature to the normal or to the default room temperature. So your brain acts like this. So it's what I termed as the thermostat functionality of your brain, of your brain. So your subconscious brain, like I said, because of this functionality to keep you safe and to keep you alive, like I have this setting, it has automated things. It has automated the kind of life that you want to live, that you ought to live. Like I used to say, we live from inside out. In other words, your external performance, your life outside, your external experience, the income that you're having, the performance that you're having, the goal that you're able to achieve right now is as a result of the inner programming, what your brain has already automated for you. So that the result that you're having, the level of relationship that you're having, your way of doing things, your way of thinking, your way of talking is as a result of what has been hard-coded on the inside. In other words, your external experience is replicating who who you are on the inside. So your brain has automated things, has automated the way that you ought to go, and it has automated and locked them up. He finished this automation and he locked it up. Okay, so this become a default automation. So your brain created a default way of your talking, a default way of your feeling, a default way of behaving, a default way of thinking. And your brain would want you to continue this way till you pass out if you do nothing to change it. So this default way is something that your brain has created because it wants to conserve energy, because it wants to preserve you and protect you from danger, physical danger, or from emotional danger, or from mental danger. So your brain does this to protect you because, like I said before, it is thinking that its primary function is to keep you safe and to keep you alive. So your brain has created this default for you. So when you introduce this big goal, now this big goal comes to thwart this default. In as much as that goal is big, like starting up your business, getting married, increasing your income target, in as much as this thing is big, in as much as that goal that you want to achieve is big, it means that this goal will make you to talk differently. It means that this goal will require new neural wiring, new neural connections in your brain. And this is energy consuming. It means that this new goal will make you to think differently. This new goal, if it is big, it will make you to, do new things. It will make you to behave differently than the default things that your brain has created. And then once you introduce this thing and this goal is big, then your brain will see it like, wow, something is happening, something is coming to change this default. So like the thermostat in your house, your brain will go to work and then squash this thing that you introduced, squash this new change that you brought, and to make sure that it returns you to that state of homeostasis, that state of, default that it has created, that state of coherence, that state of normalcy, that state of your normal state, habitual state. It makes sure that it returns you to that normal state. And that accounts for why a lot of people will say, hey, I will do this, and they'll go on taking action, take one step, second step, third step, and then all of a sudden you see them, giving excuses why they wouldn't continue, giving excuses why that thing will not work. They default back to their way of doing things. No, that thing I tried it, it's not meant for me. I'm not that kind of person. You're giving excuses because, see, your brain is making you to do that. Your brain is lying to you, and it's one of its mechanisms to, bring you to the default, just like the thermostat in your house, that you open the window to allow fresh air to come in, and during winter, and as soon as that air comes in, it now brings a disalignment with the inputted or the default room temperature. And then your thermostat, what does it do? It goes to start up the heater, and the heater comes up to bring the temperature to the normal situation, to the normal default. So your brain functions this way. It functions as a thermostat, watching for the automation that it has locked up for you, the automation that it has hard coded for you. Anything that tries to come to thwart it, okay, your brain will go to work and to make sure that it squashes that thing, to make sure that it cuts that thing, and to make sure that you remain in your comfort zone, that perceived state of safety, that coherent state that he has created for you. So these are just the reasons why and how your brain fights you, how your brain hinders you, from achieving your big goal. This is one of the reasons why, achieving your big goal seems so difficult. And that is why, if you approach your big goal, particularly your big goal, as something external, if you think that all that is required to the achievement of this big goal is just go to learn skill, is just only the external factors, you are making a mistake. The external factors are so important also, but then without fixing this thing, the external factors will not get you there. So this is one thing that if you master how to override, if you master how to fix, every other thing about the achievement of your big goal, we automatically align, we automatically fall in place. So one of the ways to fix this, I'm not going to be listing how you can, what you can do to fix this here in this video, because I will create another video. So watch out for that video. I will create another video about how to achieve your big goal without stress or procrastination. In that video, I will show you how to create your goal, in what I call the brain-friendly goal, and how to create a brain-friendly plan, how to bypass your subconscious mind, how to override your subconscious mind to make it, instead of fighting you, to support you to achieve your big goal. I will create a new video or a subsequent video. In my subsequent video, I will treat all of this in detail. So watch out for that video. So, but one of the things that you have to do to bypass this, you don't have to see your big goal as something external, something outside you, something out there to be chased. I quite understand that all of us, we were indoctrinated by the old and traditional goal achievement methodology that sees our goal as something external, something outside us, something out there to be chased. And then you wonder why the more you chase your goal, the more you create those daily overwhelming long list of to-dos, those 30 things that you do in a day, and then the more you press so hard to achieve them, and the more frustrating things become, and you default back to having the same old result, So one of the best way to be able to achieve your big goal, if you have that goal that is big, if that goal will move the needle in your life or in your business or in your career, whether you want to start up that business, the best way to be able to achieve this goal is to align this goal, this goal with your internal image on the inside. If you align this goal, because like I used to say, I used to say that your brain does not know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. So when you align your subconscious mind, when you align this goal with your internal image on the inside, then your brain will start seeing you as the person that has already achieved this goal. And so when you start taking actions on the external, your brain will no longer fight you, because your brain will create a new normal for you based on the image of this new goal that you have embedded in your subconscious mind. And so your brain will no longer fight you. Your brain will create a new normal with this, because it will start seeing you as somebody who has already achieved his goal. So this is one of the ways that you can achieve your big goal and achieve your big goal without stress and procrastination. So in my next video, I will show you in details how to do this. And I hope that this video helps you. So if this video is of great help, to you, make sure you, subscribe to my channel so that you will have more of this kind of videos, when I post them, and click like, and you can share this video to anyone that needs to hear this. Okay. So thank you. See you next time. Until I come your way next time, keep living in the atmosphere of next level success and happiness. See you. And bye-bye.